Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Got to ask you guys a question. I want to ask you to rewind time. I want to ask you to go back to before the 2025 football season started. Where were you at on this team? What were your preseason expectations? What was your preseason prediction? And I think a lot of people probably had this team at 9-3. Why is that? Well, it's because of the big three, right? Alabama, Georgia, and Florida. Josh Heupel has to prove to us that he can do something that he's never done before since arriving on Rocky Top, and that's beat Georgia. We've yet to beat Georgia under Josh Heupel, but also he's yet to go on the road and beat Alabama. He's yet to go on the road and beat Florida. And you look at the schedule and you see an Oklahoma game that could be tough. Going on the road to Mississippi State could be tough. You open the season with Syracuse. A lot of people were questioning that game. But I think it's pretty easy to come to a conclusion of 9-3. But where are you at now? I've seen a lot of people say Tennessee is going to finish off the back half of this schedule and they're going to end up at 8-4. I've seen as bad as 6-6. If you're sitting here trying to sell me that Tennessee is going to go 6-6, you think that Tennessee is going to lose every game to any football team that has a pulse down the back half. You think they're going to lose to any team not named New Mexico State. What you tell me if you think 6-6 is that you're done. You quit. It's over. You're quitting on the 2025 season. We might as well not even suit up and go play the game on the back half of this schedule. Why? Why do you feel that way? Is it because we missed a game-winning field goal against Georgia and lost in overtime? Is it because we lost to Alabama, a good Alabama team on the road in Tuscaloosa, a team that's won 4 straight SEC games against ranked opponents, the first time in history that an SEC team has played 4 straight ranked opponents without a bye week in between and won all 4 of those games. Look, Alabama is a good football team. They're a good team. But if we can't beat Alabama on the road, if we can't beat Georgia, we might as well quit, pack it up, and call the whole thing off, right? Again, you're guaranteeing losses to Kentucky. You're guaranteeing a loss to Oklahoma, Florida, Vanderbilt. I just don't get that mindset. And look, I understand. I may be talking to a vocal minority here. And if I am, if you disagree, feel free to comment and say, Boogie, I disagree. I think Tennessee has a shot at 10-2, 9-3. Where you at? Put it in the comment section. Because for me, when I look at the rest of the schedule, here's what I see. I see 2 teams on the rest of the schedule that Josh Heupel has absolutely owned. 8-0 against Kentucky and Vanderbilt. I see New Mexico State. That is a glorified scrimmage. I see a Florida Gators team who just fired their head coach. I see 3 games inside Neyland Stadium. Oklahoma, New Mexico State, Vanderbilt. Josh Heupel's pretty dang good in Neyland Stadium. 28-5 inside Neyland Stadium since coming to Rocky Top. 3 of those losses came in year 1. 3 of them came in year 1. Georgia, Pitt, Ole Miss. 3 of the 5 losses came to Georgia. You're 2-0 against Florida. You're 2-0 against Alabama. You got 3 games in Neyland Stadium. You got a glorified scrimmage against New Mexico State. You got 2 teams that Josh Heupel is absolutely on. But tell me more about why we should quit on this football team. I'm going to take a look at the rest of the opponents on the schedule. Before we do that, I need you guys to do me a favor. Smash the thumbs up below the video. It's quick, it's free, it's easy. It helps the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. If it's your first time here, welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We're not media. We don't pretend to be that. What we are is exactly what you guys are. It's for the fans, by the fans. If you like it, subscribe, click the bell for notifications. You're not going to miss out when we go live and when we drop a video. Going to be live tonight, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. Yeah, we play EA Sports College Football. You may see the thumbnail and go, I don't care about video games, Boogie. Come hang out. You'll enjoy it. We talk Tennessee football the entire night, laid back, chill stream. Always a good time. If you don't want to do that, Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time, Talkin VAWLS live, more dialed in, a more clean show. So come hang out for that. But let's take a look at the opponents the rest of the way. Of course, coming up first this weekend, you got to go on the road to Kentucky, on the road in the SEC. Never easy. But I've told you guys after the loss to Alabama, I told you guys leading up to the game with Alabama, I said if Tennessee loses this game, they're going to be favored in every single game the rest of the way. They still have every opportunity to go 10-2. And here we sit. Tennessee is likely going to be favored in every game the rest of the way. The ESPN FPI loves them some Tennessee. You see it on the screen there, 75.1% odds of Tennessee winning this game. The Vegas line currently has Tennessee as a 9.5-point favorite. Look, we sell a T-shirt. You can go to bonfire.com/store Talkin Vols. We got all kinds of fun merch, rivalry shirts, parody shirts, just Talkin Vols logo shirts. But we sell a T-shirt there that says Kentucky's Daddy. Why do we sell a T-shirt that says Kentucky's Daddy? Well, because we're 84, 26, and 9 all time against Kentucky. From 1985 until 2010, we did not lose to Kentucky. 26 straight wins against Kentucky. Went on to win 31 out of 32. But I'll say this. Does any of that really matter? Does what happened prior to 2021 really matter? Does what happened prior to Josh Heupel showing up in Knoxville really matter? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It only matters to us. It matters to the fans because we look and we know that we're Kentucky's daddy, but it doesn't matter what happened prior to Josh Heupel. So what's Josh Heupel done against Kentucky? 4-0. And only one of those games was even really close. That was year one, 45-42 in Lexington. Since then, it's been 44-6, 33-27, 28-18. Kentucky this season, 2-4 on the year with their only wins being against Toledo and Eastern Michigan. But you want to quit, right? You want to quit. You're chalking this up. This is a loss, right? If we're going to go 6-6, if you're going to sell me on 6-6, you got to somehow sell me that we are going to lose to Kentucky coming up on Saturday. I just don't see it. Josh Heupel has owned Kentucky. Josh Heupel has owned the teams he's supposed to own. We got to get over the hump. We're trying to take that step to being elite. And I think a big one is when Oklahoma comes to town. That is going to be a big-time SEC matchup. We need Neyland Stadium to be loud. And again, I talk about being favored. Of course, the Vegas line's not yet out for the Oklahoma game. What's the ESPN FPI say? It says, put your money on the Vols. 58.4% chance Tennessee wins this game. I expect this to be a good football game, right? We need a hostile environment in Neyland Stadium. Oklahoma 6-1 on the season. They got wins over Illinois State, Michigan, Temple, Auburn, Kent State, and last week beat South Carolina on the road 26-7. Their only loss coming to Texas. Now, Texas lost their opening game to Ohio State, but then they also got beat by a horrible Florida team. So we start doing these weird comparisons that fans do. We start doing that weird Steiner math that makes no sense. We start talking about, well, if this team beat that team, if Texas beat Oklahoma, but then Florida beat Texas, what does that mean for Tennessee? It means absolutely nothing. What it means is it's hard to win in the SEC. It means that we truly have parity in college football. It means being 5-2 with losses to good teams like Alabama, with losses to good teams like Georgia is not the end of the world. It doesn't mean the sky is falling. It doesn't mean we need to fire Tim Banks and fire Joey Halzle and get rid of Josh Heupel and panic and scream and react emotionally and say that Tennessee is going to go 6-6. It means we lost to a couple of good football teams. I think Tennessee and Oklahoma comes down to John Mateer. How healthy is he? 1,500 passing yards on the season, 7 touchdowns, all the Heisman talk, right? All the Heisman talk. John Mateer's up there at the top. It's the guy that everybody's talking about until the injury. And I think they pushed it. I think he came back too soon. And you look what he did against Texas, threw 3 interceptions against Texas, a big reason why they lost that game. It's going to be interesting to watch. They've got Ole Miss this week. How healthy is Mateer? Is he back to 100%? How healthy is he when Oklahoma comes to Neyland Stadium in 11 days? Oklahoma scoring 28 points per game. That's 69th in the country. Can you come to Neyland Stadium and win a shootout against Josh Heupel and Joey Halzle and Joey Aguilar and these Tennessee wide receivers, a group that's been pretty dang good inside Neyland Stadium? Look how many points they scored against the Georgia Bulldogs in Neyland Stadium. Can Oklahoma match that? Oklahoma struggles to run the football, 97th in the country running the football. Statistically, they play pretty good defense. This is a big-time showdown coming up in Neyland Stadium. After Oklahoma, you got New Mexico State. I'm not even going to talk about New Mexico State. You want to talk about the odds? ESPN FPI has Tennessee at 98.9% chance of winning that football game. So you got Kentucky. We're Kentucky's daddy. You got Oklahoma. ESPN FPI likes the Vols. How does Mateer respond? You got New Mexico State. That's a glorified scrimmage. And then this is the one. And maybe this is battered Vol syndrome. You got to find a way to go on the road and beat the Gators. But again, once again, the ESPN FPI, 62.4%. The ESPN FPI, the data, the analytics, the numbers, likes Tennessee in this game. Florida is to Tennessee what Tennessee is to Kentucky. But again, does the past really matter? I said it when talking about Kentucky. What happened prior to Josh Heupel does not matter. 11 straight for Florida from 2000 to 2005 to 2015 doesn't matter. Florida leads the series, 32 wins, 22 losses, doesn't matter. Haven't won in the Swamp since 2003. Guess what? Everybody's going to be talking about that leading up to this game. Doesn't matter. Josh Heupel 2-2 against the Gators. If you look at this thing on paper, you take the emotions out of it, you put a different logo on that helmet. Are you picking Florida to win this game? 3-4 on the season. And yeah, they've gone through a gauntlet, man. Their schedule is brutal. Losses to LSU, Miami, and Texas A&M. Those teams were ranked number 3, 4, and 5 at the time. Also took a L to Coach Golish at USF. They got wins over Long Island, Mississippi State, and Texas. How do they respond to the firing of Billy Napier? That was a big thing for me when Arkansas fired Sam Pittman. How would that team respond? Do they rally behind the interim coach? Wide receiver coach Billy Gonzalez stepping in here as the interim coach for Florida. By the way, welcome to the fire. You got Georgia coming up after the bye week, then at Kentucky, at Ole Miss, then Tennessee comes to the Swamp. How do the Gators respond to that? How do they handle playing Georgia, going on the road to Kentucky, going on the road to Ole Miss? They could very well be 3-7 when Tennessee comes to town. Are they still bought in? Do they believe in Billy Gonzalez, or are they completely checked out? Are they looking at the portal? I get it. It's the Swamp. It's on the road. I think if you're going 10-2 and you got a shot at the college football playoff, this is the game. This is the one you got to get on the road against the Gators. You've not won since 2003. Is that battered ball syndrome creeping in for me? Probably so, because I probably need to tell myself, you put a different logo on that helmet, I'm taking Tennessee all day, every day. So again, you're going to sell me on 6-6. You're going to argue. You're going to tell me that this team is going to finish this season 6-6. Wrap things up against the Vanderbilt Commodores. Again, ESPN FPI, let's take a look at it. 58.8%. The data, the analytics, the numbers that don't react emotionally like we do as fans. They don't flip out and panic when we lose to a good Alabama team. They don't flip out and panic when we lose to a good Georgia team in overtime. Still likes Tennessee in this game against Vanderbilt. But is it Tennessee against Vanderbilt, or is it Tennessee against Diego Pavia? And again, I ask you, what has happened in the past? Does it matter? But what has Josh Heupel done against Vanderbilt? Well, the same thing he did to Kentucky, 4-0, undefeated against Vanderbilt. 13-point win last season was the closest that Vanderbilt's come to even beating Tennessee. But you look at them, 6-1 on the season, all the hype, all the noise, best start for Vanderbilt since 1950. So is Vanderbilt a really good team, or is Vanderbilt just good for Vanderbilt? Which one is it? Big win over LSU last week, 31-24. You blew out South Carolina on the road, 31-7. You beat Virginia Tech on the road. Your only loss came to Alabama in Tuscaloosa. Is Vanderbilt for real? That's the question. Is Vandy for real? Diego Pavia thrown for almost 1,600 yards, 15 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. Also leads the team in rushing, 77 carries, 438 yards for 4 touchdowns. You stop Diego Pavia, you win this game. And now, can Tennessee lose to Vanderbilt? Of course they can. Can they lose this Saturday to Kentucky? Yeah. Can they lose to Oklahoma? Of course. Can they lose to Florida? Absolutely. Are they going to lose every one of those games and finish out this season 6-6? No, that's not happening. Tennessee can win every game the rest of the way. Will they do that? Can they finish 10-2? If you're selling me on 6-6, you might as well pack it up and quit and not watch another game, because there's no sense in it. I don't play that game. I don't watch Tennessee play one football game and then make my decision about game X, Y, and Z the rest of the way. I sit down, I get behind this team, and I say go Vols, because that's all I know. What are your thoughts? Jump in the comment section. Let's talk about it. As always, smash the thumbs up. On the way out the door, go check out the merchandise. You can support this channel by hitting the join button down below. We got a Patreon. You want to be involved in a game day chat. We hang out. We talk about the game live as it happens. All the links to do all that stuff are in the description below. But that's going to do it for this one. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name's Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.